Have you ever felt as if you carry an invisible wound inside you that keeps burning, even on days when everything seems calm? Have you noticed how certain memories surface without warning, making your heart race or your hands tremble, as if the past were alive and screaming right inside you? If so, you are not alone. I want to speak to you, the one who carries this emotional burden every day, who bears traumas that seem never to heal, and who doesn't always know where to begin seeking relief. In this video, we'll explore 5 stages that explain how your brain reacts to emotional traumas and, most importantly, how you can begin to foster the inner healing you so desperately need. At each stage, I'll show you what happens in your brain, what the practical consequences are in your daily life, and suggest strategies to help you regain control over your emotions and your life. Have you ever felt like something inside you broke and never went back to the way it was? It's not something you can clearly explain. People ask if you're okay, and you say yes. But inside, something feels stuck, frozen, as if a part of you stopped in time, right at the moment of pain. It may have been abandonment, humiliation, deep fear, violence, or even something no one ever considered traumatic, but that you carry to this day like a weight too heavy to name. I want to speak to you, the one who's been trying to live carrying this silent burden, the one who has blamed yourself for still feeling it, even after all this time, the one who's heard phrases like, "You need to forgive," or "just let it go," and thought, "If it were that simple, I would have done it already." You're not weak, you're not being dramatic, and most of all, you are not alone. When we go through trauma, our brain doesn't just record what happened. It stores the shock, the fear, the shame, the sense of danger. All of it becomes a kind of alarm system that, even years later, can still keep ringing inside us. That's where the first step of healing begins: understanding. Maybe you've noticed that, even in safe environments, your mind and body react as if you're in danger. Your heart races, your breath shortens, your muscles tense. Simple things, like a mild argument or a sudden comment, can trigger a strong reaction. Not because you chose it, but because your brain learned the fastest and most effective way to protect you, by staying on constant alert. It's like living with a fire alarm that goes off several times a day, even when there's no smoke. Over time, you start losing your peace, your focus, your energy. It wears you down, it drains you. And the worst part is, you begin to believe that something is wrong with you. But the truth is, this is a healthy response from a brain that's just trying to keep you alive. The problem is, it doesn't know the danger is over. So here's the first key. You are not broken. You are in survival mode. And now, you can start teaching your mind and body that it's possible to return to safety. But trauma doesn't stop there. After the alarm has gone off so many times, you begin building emotional walls so you won't feel that same pain again. That's where the second pattern of trauma appears: emotional protection. Maybe you've become more closed off. Maybe you've developed a more cynical, guarded, distant personality. Maybe you even joke that you don't need anyone. But deep down, you miss being touched, being seen, being loved. And yet, at the same time, you're terrified of it. Because the last time you opened up, it hurt too much. So your brain, with the best of intentions, built armor. And yes, it protects you. But it also keeps you trapped. It's like wearing a suit of armor while walking through a forest. No one can hurt you, but you can't run, you can't dance, you can't hug anyone either. The same armor that protects you also isolates you. But you didn't do this out of malice. You survived the best way you could, and that deserves to be recognized. Your emotional intelligence, even when it seems defensive, was a survival strategy. Now, with more awareness and support, you can start removing that armor, one piece at a time, because living is much more than just protecting yourself. As you try to move forward, another challenge arises, one of the hardest: triggers. Sometimes, without warning, something awakens a memory you thought was gone. A song, a scent, a tone of voice, a certain look. And suddenly, it feels like you're back in that moment of pain. Your heart races, your throat closes, your mind freezes. You feel everything all over again. You don't understand why, but it has a name: emotional flashback. Trauma doesn't live only in memory, it lives in the body. It gets activated when something resonates with unresolved pain. And that doesn't mean you're stuck in the past. It only means your body is still trying to warn you of a danger it hasn't realized is already gone. Triggers are echoes, voices from the past trying to keep you safe from being hurt again. You are not weak for feeling this. You are not playing the victim. You are just trying to make sense of something that was too overwhelming to process at the time. Now you have resources, tools, and faith. And slowly you can learn to calm your system, to speak to your body with the truth. We are safe now. We can breathe. But even when all this is understood, there's a silent pain that still weighs heavily: shame. Trauma doesn't just hurt the body, it tries to steal identity. At some point, you may have started to believe you were weak, guilty, or broken. Maybe no one said that directly, but the way you were treated made you feel that way. And now, you carry that sensation like an invisible backpack full of stones. It's like something inside you feels damaged, so you try to hide it. You smile more, you show strength. You try to be productive, useful, in control. But deep down, you're afraid someone might see your pain and say, "You're too much, you're not enough, you're broken." This is one of the cruelest wounds of trauma, how it distorts our self-image. But today, I want to remind you, you are not what happened to you. You are not the pain that hurt you. You are someone who survived, and now someone who is being restored. You are not weak for feeling shame. You were exposed, vulnerable, and that left a wound. But love, real love, covers shame with dignity. And that's where true healing begins. Not just through brain science, not only through emotional techniques, but through a truth that doesn't rise from within, but descends from above. A truth that restores your identity, that reminds you who you are when all masks fall. A truth called grace. The grace of God doesn't just forgive your past, it heals your present. Grace doesn't demand that you be perfect to be accepted. It accepts you as you are, and that unconditional acceptance is what begins to free you. Jesus didn't come to tell you to be stronger. He came to be your strength when you have none. He didn't come to judge you for having trauma. He came to touch your wounds and say, "You are mine. You are loved. You are whole in me." Grace is not a doctrine. It's a person, Jesus. And He knows every part of your story. He knows exactly what you went through, what you endured, and what you silenced. And even so, He chose to love you. Not despite your scars, but with them. You don't need to fix yourself to come to God. He is the one who comes to you. And when that truth enters, something changes. Guilt loses its grip. Shame dissolves. The armor begins to fall. The internal alarm goes silent. The echo of trauma turns into a healed memory. And at last, you begin to breathe. Today, you don't have to figure it all out. You just need to take one step. Maybe that step is allowing yourself to rest, or sharing your story with someone safe, or simply opening your heart and saying, "Jesus, I can't do this alone, but I want to be healed." And He responds with love. "I'm already here. I always have been." You are seen. You are never forgotten. Thank you for staying with me until the end of this message. If something touched your heart, if a memory resurfaced, or if you felt understood for the first time in a long while, know that this is just the beginning of your healing journey. In the next video, we'll go even deeper. We'll talk about how to build emotional safety step by step, how to deal with spiritual exhaustion, and how to let God's grace rebuild what life has broken. You don't have to walk this path alone. Jesus walks with you through every scar, every silence, and every small victory. So don't forget to subscribe, turn on notifications, and join me in the next chapter. I'll be waiting for you. See you there. You are seen, you are never forgotten.